Hi Aquarius, what's up? What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle was the Star and Ace of Wands. We have Three of Wands coming out first. It was flipped over. Okay, I'm also seeing Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, when we have Three of Wands, this is big picture thinking. This is about doing what you need to do now in order to set something up so that it can kind of happen further down the timeline. So this can be, I'm being proactive now because this is where I'm trying to go, and if I take these steps now, I'm intending for it to kind of like take me over there. So there is this thinking about the future and what it is that you're doing now that's happening, and maybe you even did something that you feel like is going to pay off later. So yeah, maybe you're doing something now and you're like, this is what I need to be doing in order to go where I'm trying to go. We have the Magician, so there's definitely something that you are trying to make happen. When we have Magician, we are going to be using our energy to create something within our lives. And because the Three of Wands is there, I feel like this is something that may take some time. Maybe this is something that it's not an overnight process, but you can be starting now. This can be like really anything that you feel like this is the starting point for me here. And if I keep working steadily at this, it's going to lead me in that direction, whatever it may be for you. You know what this kind of reminds me of? When people make like New Year's resolutions and it's like, I'm going to start doing this now. So then like whatever, like so many months down the line, I'm going to be in that place that I want to be. It kind of is feeling like that a little bit to me here. And I'm definitely seeing there be a vision. Like this feels like you're playing chess here. And there's a feeling of excitement that's surrounding this. Okay, so I'm also seeing something here that has to do with, this can be like a sense of connection. Having Knight of Wands and having Three of Cups, this is something that can potentially feel really fun for you. Things can be leading in the direction of maybe like a social chapter of yours or something having to do with your relationships with other people. I'm seeing somebody with shorts on here. It reminds me of like being at the beach or something like that. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm seeing with the Three of Cups. Three of Cups feels to me like you are intentionally going in the direction of something that is going to feel like it provides a type of support and connection for you within your life. And it can be something that you are ready to give your energy to it. You're ready to make it happen. So it can be something where like maybe you want to like make new friends, or maybe you want to like focus on your relationships, whatever types of relationships they may be, but whatever it is, it's going to feel mutually supportive. This Three of Cups is always mutually supportive to me. How like everybody's pouring in everybody's cup, so it feels like it's like all kind of there. And kind of this feeling too of like, if somebody needs, if there's like one person that has a really empty cup, everybody being like, let's fill up their cup. It feels kind of like that to me with this. So this is something that there's a sense of like fluidity to it, the way that it works, and it feels kind of like it moves with you within your life. That will be the feeling of this. So whether this be one person or whether this be a group of people, a community, whatever it is, there's this feeling of this is something that can adapt, and this is something that can grow with me. This is not something stagnant. This is something that is going to complement my journey. And this is also something that can possibly take some time to build. And you will do it. We have 6 of Wands. It definitely shows this working out. But it does require effort too. I wonder if this is a chapter where you're honoring your moon energy. And your moon energy is about... Okay, so moon is ruled by Cancer. When we think of Cancer, this is an energy that's very nurturing, it's very motherly, it's very loving, it's protective over the things that one cares about and wants to take care. And when we are connected with the moon, it's connected with like our love languages, how we receive love, how we give love, like our nurturing styles, our parenting styles even that we have. And having this here can be about the ways that you're showing up within your relationships, and maybe also the types of relationships that you want to have, ones that are going to, at the end of the day, feel fulfilling to you. So there's also a level of discernment here with what you're doing and self-awareness, because not every relationship is going to fit for every single person. So there can be a focus on understanding what you're looking for and then being able to connect the dots to make that happen. So maybe you're just like getting more in touch with yourself and asking yourself, what do you want? What do you need? How can we make that happen? And it's for intimacy, it's for connection. That's where this will come from with the moon. All right, so we have Magician, which is Mercury, and I'm also seeing Hermit coming out, which is Virgo. Okay, so there's a lot of thought about where things are going. I do feel like you're setting up a chessboard here. And this looks like something new that's opening up, and maybe that's why you want more information about it as well. Because this doesn't feel like a simple game of like just move this here and then I'm like not thinking about where things are going later down the line. This feels like really deliberate, like there is a building that's happening. And it's specifically based off of the architectural design of your intention. And so maybe there's also even stuff about that you're uncovering. It reminds me of like making a blueprint for a house, and you have certain ideas of what you want there, but there can be other stuff where you're like, I want the bathroom to go over there, and I want like this type of sink, and you know, like these sorts of things where if you can like totally curate this in the way that you want, getting as many ideas as you need. It's less about being detail oriented and more about making sure that you have a full, complete understanding of what this is that you're trying to do here, so you'll know what fits and what doesn't. So it will give you a sense of direction. And because this can be something that's kind of like a new venture, you can just want to feel prepared and like kind of like you're studying for this to make sure that you have the answers that you need. That doesn't mean every little detail is going to be figured out, but there is like, I'm trying to get maybe, I mean, 3 of Wands and the Hermit can be, I'm trying to get as much detail as I possibly can, looking through the telescope. So each step of the way, maybe you're trying to gain information even far out, even stuff that I feel like maybe can't even be applied right now. You can even be finding answers about those things too. It feels like you can see very, very far. And Hermit is gonna be, it's like the lens, the microscope that is like the strongest microscope in the world. That is going to be Hermit. So you can really be looking at the fine print, the fine details. And that can be something that's maybe helping you feel prepared. And it can be maybe what you see as being the key to success here. Maybe you feel like the more attention you're giving to this and paying here, and the more, I think, mindful more than anything, because this isn't about driving yourself crazy going through this process. It's more so about being present. and reflecting on what needs to be reflected on, so this feels intentional to you. So it's not like you just end up somewhere and you're like, how did I get over here, scratching your head. This is like, you have somewhere that you want to go. This is figuring out how to do exactly that. I will say, when you're creating something like this in your life, there is a need to co-create. Kind of like when you manifest with the universe, you have to co-create with the universe. So you can make the blueprint, but the universe is going to color it in for you. So just keep that in mind. It also looks like there's an openness too, to kind of seeing what's going to happen. It feels like putting your order in and then you're going to see kind of what gets spit back out at you. It's like, I want these ingredients, and then you're going to see kind of like how that takes shape. I wonder too if you've been going through something recently. I'm seeing 5 of Cups and I'm seeing Death on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you went through something recently that kind of kicked your feet out from underneath you a little bit, like not in a fun way. And that could have been something that maybe made it hard to get back up. But having Knight of Wands above it, I feel like you are. I feel like you're moving forward with things. I feel too like maybe you needed to be kind of alone for a little bit. Maybe you needed some time to do self-reflection and really think about things here. But there can be something going on in the environment where you're like, I'm not happy. You know the thing about like putting in the ingredients, saying like, I want mustard on the sandwich and I want lettuce on it. And it's like, whatever the machine whatever the machine of the 3D kicked back to you, you could have felt like utterly disappointed by what it's given you so far. But there's a need to kind of get up and try again, it seems. So yeah, maybe like something happened. See, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune as kind of being this machine that's like spinning around, and then it kind of hands you something. And having the 5 of Cups, it's like, that's what you produced for me. It feels a little bit like that to me with this. But then having, and that's focused on the past, having Knight of Wands be there is like, okay, well, let's figure something out now. So I'm not just sitting here doing nothing, just dwelling in this. Because that's just going to keep that going. And you may not want to keep that going anymore. So Death card can be when you surrender, and it can be when you let go and you're like, today's a new day. Let me see what I can do. Because that 3 of Cups is in front of you, and it really does feel like that's the type of connection that you're looking for. And this really feels like something that's going to be rich, something that's going to be full of that for you. And it can be something that you see as being really enriching within your life. When it comes to your emotional world, your world of feeling, your world of wanting to be connected with intimacy and just like spiritually and energetically with the universe around you, I'm seeing so much ground that you've covered with this part of yourself, getting through things that have felt really challenging to move through. Because I feel like you went through a lot of times that it felt like whatever it was that was sort of coming out of the experiences that you were having, like whatever it was that was surfacing, it could have been stuff that you felt like this isn't what I expected to come out of me putting this energy in or putting this effort in. But now having something go on where it feels like you're breaking out of that energy, there's some type of breakthrough that's happening here. But I don't even feel like it's about, like, nothing really changed with the machine. It still spits things out in the same way. It's that, like, you got better at telling it the proper ingredients that maybe you weren't telling it before. And I feel like it's more so, much more so, a change in you. Because this feels like you are mastering the energy of the magician. And because of that, you can be seeing that it's going to start spitting stuff out at you that's actually the right stuff. It's like the stuff that you actually look at it and you're like, that's definitely acceptable, whereas it felt unacceptable before. But it was because of something that you were doing or not doing. And it has to do, again, with like the ingredients that you were feeding the machine. And now something about that, it's just like something clicks, you understand something, but I do feel like you had to go through it spitting stuff out at you and being like, what is this? And you had to like edit, and you had to change, and you had to edit and change and grow and surrender. It's like all of these different steps that it took. And now it feels like you're at a point where you're like, I get it now. I get how this works now. And so now something is starting to work, and you're seeing that. And that's how you can measure the success of this and the progress that you've made. And it has to do with, I feel like your Mercury magician energy is involved in this, and your water energy. So your water energy is going to be the part of you that can measure like whether something clicks or not, whether it vibes with you or not, like whether it's compatible with you or not, whether you have chemistry with it or not. So that's the gauge. And the magician feels like some type of faculty that has to be used here. That's like a skill that you have with the magician to be able to communicate with the universe, which ultimately comes back to you communicating with yourself, getting clear on what your intention is, and then being able to do this in a deliberate way. But before, I wonder if it was kind of a situation for you where, you know, like when you tell the genie what you want, and if you're not specific enough, it's gonna like send you something really wild. It feels like that's what was happening before. And that you've gotten good at adapting and learning and growing and recognizing how to work with this to have it produce kind of like in the wheelhouse of like what you're looking for. I feel kind of like that's not the right way to describe this, but you guys know what I mean. It's like it's coming out in a way that feels acceptable. And I feel even like, I wonder if there's something happening right now in your life. There can be like something that's coming together where you do feel like this shows that you're figuring out how to do this, and that it's not just like a foreign concept to you anymore, which it may have been like before. Like I feel like you could have been like shaking the machine and being like, what's wrong with it, and like kicking it, you know. It's just like this type of thing where there could have been a frustration that was building. And having this Three of Wands and Hermit, it's like you've gotten so much better at reflecting. You've gotten so much better at finding answers. You've gotten so much better at tuning in. And this is something that it kind of is feeling like Saturn to me, where it's like you have to do it again, and you have to do it again, and you have to do it again. And this comes from gaining self-awareness, from wanting to tell yourself the truth as well, from honest self-reflection. And you grow through that process. So this is also about becoming a better hermit. So you have improved as the hermit, where instead of just walking around bumping into things and just saying random stuff to the machine and then having it spit random stuff at you and then being mad at the machine, this is about understanding the role that you play within all of this. And seeing that you are actually the mastermind behind this, that there's nothing wrong with the machine. The machine works how the machine works. if you're the one that's the creator behind it, it's you that has to figure out how to get it to compute in the way that you want. And it feels like there's some sort of marked progress that you can see now at this point. Like, there's definitely something that's going on right now within your life that you're looking at and you're like, I have figured it out, in a way that felt like something that wasn't working before. You have now figured out how to make the machine work in the way that you want to, but I feel like you toiled for a long time trying to figure this out. Like, this feels like upset after upset, like disappointment after disappointment, but I'm seeing you get up every time, and now something has worked. And there is this feeling of like, I feel this sense of trying to do this so many times, feeling like just kept failing, even though it's not really, you know, like you learn from it and you gain progress, you make progress, and just all of this, you know, as we evolve through something. But I feel kind of like there were so many times that you could have given up, and you didn't. You decide to kind of like put yourself back out there to try again, and now something is happening, and you're finally is that feeling of you figured something out, and then it's like it was all worth it. That's what I get with the Six of Wands and Queen of Cups. And this is all for, like, this has to do with your world of feeling. This has to do with your world of connection. So this can be a big thing having to do with your relationships and whatnot. When we go into hermit mode, it feels like that's what helped you. I get this sense like before, when you were working with the machine, you didn't read the instructions and you're like, I'll just figure it out. And then it kept not working and you had to go into hermit mode. And this feels like repetitively, like you fed the machine the ingredients, it spits out something, it looks wonky. Going into hermit mode, you fed it ingredients, it comes out looking weird, you go into hermit mode. And it's like, from repetitively doing that, you got the manuscript that had the directions on it from going into hermit mode. And this is something where you have to do that with yourself. Nobody else can tell that to you. This is about like cosmic energy that you're tapping into here, cosmic wisdom. And when we have a hermit, this is something that we have to find that light ourselves. So you have to go searching for it. And it can only happen through doing reflection, paying attention, mindful presence, and then a processing, and then an integration, all of these things, and then an application. So it's this whole process that you've been having to go through. And I feel for some of you, this has been like a long, long time that you could have been like, I don't know, like just like losing your mind a little bit here, being like, am I ever going to figure out how this works? And now just like having this moment here, it feels like such a big accomplishment where you finally feel like you did it. But I get this being something extremely complicated that you figured out. And this feels like a really big achievement. And this is the type of achievement where it's not really anything that anybody else can necessarily see, because it's connected with something that you feel. So it's something for you, with you, inside of you that you are connected with. And so it's going to be a win for that intrinsic part of you. And something about that feels even more special to me, because this isn't about, This isn't about you like externally achieving something. You've achieved something really important, like on an energetic and spiritual level with yourself here. You have worked through something where you could have given up so many times. And now you finally get to see something come together. And the feeling is it was all worth it. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.